Good morning. It's me, Pearl, from Pearl in the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Tarot. And we're about to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine aspects of self, understanding we're looking at energy, not gender, and that we will see this energy reflected back to us from our outside world. So the interactions that we have with one another, the manifestations that we see coming into our life, our environment, all of those things are just going to be a reflection of our own energy. So we're going to start again with Divine Feminine because, again, she was showing all but one card today. And let us see where the energy is. All right. Top of the deck, forefront of the mind for Divine Feminine is the Page of Cups upright. So she's sort of embracing this. So she's really been trying to work on this idea of this beginner's mind in regards to being heart-centered and understanding human relationships and how to interact with others and coming from a place of love and innocence. This is a card about true love. It can be about apologies, but it's heartfelt, it's sincere, and it's usually immature, like it has a little bit of trouble expressing itself fully. But I think mainly we're just seeing her really wanting to embody the innocence and purity of this love and remain in that beginner's mind. And that's supported by the niggling thing in the back of her mind, which is the Page of Wands, which is, so we've got new energy. Now, when this card came out, I think, or it was the bottom of the deck and I pulled it out and I think it was in reverse and then it got flipped. So there's a little bit of energy here that's kind of back and forth. But what it is just she's feeling a lot of excitement and anticipation in regards to this new energy that she's feeling. It's energy that she's feeling within herself towards this divine masculine energy, or towards this manifestation that she's trying to draw in or take action towards or express or communicate, whatever it is that you're in the process of doing. There's this feeling of excitement and anticipation, and she's trying not to get too excited. She's really done a lot of work on dealing with expectations and disappointment. So she's just managing her expectations, and that's why we're seeing that kind of shifty energy of the Page of Wands. She's really fucking excited, but she's trying to like keep it together, and she's trying to keep this new mind, beginner's mind feeling in regards to this energy. But there's like a childlike delight in the feeling that she has right now. The first thing on her mind is not thinking too much. It's the Devil card in reverse. So it's releasing the hold that any of this obsessive loop thinking, codependency, addiction, anything that was keeping her chained or bound to old stories. That's why we've got new energy. She's releasing these old fears and stories that the ego tells. Instead, she's embracing new ideas, new perspectives on her life, on her interactions, on who she wants to be in the world, how she wants to be that way, what she wants her relationships to look like, all of those things. She's done this work to release these old stories and old patterns. And she's thinking, I'm not addicted to the things I used to be addicted to, because I've really gone in and worked out how that energy was protecting me from what I really wanted. Because the next two things on her mind are the Eight of Swords, which is that card it's frequently associated with self-sabotage, that we reframe as self-protection, because the only reason we would sabotage ourselves is not because we're bad people. It's because we have some kind of a belief that prevents us from allowing the reception of what it is that we desire, in order to make sure that we reinforce that belief, which is to a certain extent is really functioning, kind of unconsciously, because it's something that's so systemic. Like, it's just a habit that has been formed over time, and we're so used to it, and it's multi-layered, multifaceted, and like buried deep within. It's almost like the autonomic system, like it's just functioning there in the background. And in order to support itself, it's going to like cause you to take actions that will validate this belief. So if you think I'm not worthy of receiving this, then you're going to engage in behaviors that are going to keep you from doing this. And she's thinking about how she's released this energy. To come out of devil energy is to come out of obsessive, self-sabotaging thought patterns, to stop protecting herself from the thing that she desires, which is this 10 of Pentacles. But she understands that this past energy, this old story, just like Divine Masculine was reflecting on his old story yesterday about his third party energy that was blocking, etc. Divine Feminine is looking at her situation, which for her, she doesn't really have any third party energy that's blocking her ability to go to Divine Masculine. She's not associating it with something outside of herself, maybe her environment, her financial circumstances, those kinds of things, but it's not like an active party, like a conscious party. It's more circumstantial, caused by these thoughts and beliefs she held about herself. And she is just reflecting on how this is the past. This is the old story. Those past fixations caused her to protect herself from her happiness that was guaranteed in her future if she could allow it. The next thing on her mind is this 8 of Pentacles energy. It's in its reversal, and it's clarifying the devil in reverse. So we see that there are some aspects of the ego that were preventing her from really enjoying the fruits of her labor, from being able to take what it is that she's really good at and craft something in the material world and receive abundance from it. For so long, she was fixated in this devil energy on making sure that this money, this abundance would come from what it is that she desired, while all the while protecting herself from the money and the abundance and all of the aspects that she thought were coming from this dream that she had, so that she couldn't actually receive anything that she was any return for the investment of her time and labor. But she's releasing this. She's done the work that she needed to do spiritually, but she's looking now and reflecting on how this devil energy, this protection of the self, blocking this abundance coming from working on what it is that she was very passionate about, this brought her Queen of Wands energy into its reversal. So she wasn't allowing herself to shine. Now, we know that this is past energy because yesterday, if you caught the reading, they're top and the bottom of the deck. It was the Queen of Wands, upright, vibrancy, with a niggling feeling in the headspace of the star. This is not a Divine Feminine who's not shining, but she has not been. And that is what she is thinking about. And that's why we've got this Page of Cups and this Page of Wands energy forefront and underlying everything in the headspace, is that she's understanding that she is now like new again. And she can now embody this Queen of Wands energy fully as she releases these old stories about herself. And the final thing on her mind is the Knight of Wands upright, clarifying this blocked 10 of Pentacles. And this is the biggest yes, this is the biggest revelation. The biggest revelation that she's having is this Knight of Wands energy that she blamed on Divine Masculine for blocking her 10 of Pentacles, her material fulfillment of her happiness, which really is coming into physical union with this manifestation or this new career or whatever it is. She was blaming the Divine Masculine energy outside of herself, the specific iteration, from blocking her from being able to have what she wants. But what she's realizing is that her inability to allow herself to shine, because she was protecting herself from her own success, and her inability to do this justice to the craft that she was trying to create a material manifestation of, is what really blocked her happiness. It wasn't about divine masculine at all. He was simply reflecting back to her own energy, which is she had this passion, but she refused to allow it to shine. So she was constantly engaging in Knight of Wands behavior for herself, which was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to do this thing. Like, this is what I'm going to do. But, and like making these ineffective gestures, very passionate, you know, kind of getting all worked up. You buy the best example of this. I hate these analogies, but they're so relatable. When you start a new diet, which we're agreeing now, looking at each other, you're never going to do again. But in the past, when you started a new diet or you started a new fitness routine, you or you get into a new hobby or something like knitting or yoga or card reading, tarot cards or something. When you start something and you have that initial burst of energy and you're just, I'm just going to do this, I'm going to throw myself all in. You go to the store, you buy the workout clothes, you get a food scale, you get the Vitamix, you get a bunch of powders you've never heard of before. You just go in, you throw caution and you're like, I'm doing it. And then 3 days after your regimen has started, you're ordering Domino's, right? And you're like, wow, I guess I really am not that committed to what I wanted. First of all, you're on a diet. Nobody can be committed to that. It's literally programmed into our bodies not to starve ourselves and deprive ourselves in any way. So that's why I'm saying just get off of every diet you've ever thought of. Bye-bye. Never doing that again. Go look at intuitive eating and thank me later. But regardless, you throw yourself all into whatever you're passionate about for a minute. Because you are passionate. You're like, yes, I want this for my life. I want this for myself. I'm going to feel great. And you are. But that thing takes more than the Knight of Wands has. The Knight of Wands has got the spark and the energy, the beginning stages of this vision, right? It's like the new idea comes from the page. The Knight of Wands picks that energy up and is like, yeah, I can see this vision. And then the Queen of Wands holds the vision, and then the King of Wands holds that vision with her, and they both take action and communicate, right? But the page and the Knight, they're just starting out. And everybody has to start out this way. But the problem is that she kept staying in this energy. She kept getting like these, it was like fits and starts, right? And nothing more than that. And she all the time was like, why isn't my divine masculine doing this for me? And then now, as she looks at that devil energy and releases the ego and admits to herself, she's like, oh, because I wasn't doing any of this for me either. So it's on me. Top of the deck, overall feeling of the heart space, 10 of Cups in reverse. So we've got the 10 of Pentacles in reverse and the 10 of Cups in reverse. So her feeling of her heart space right now is the imminent fulfillment of both of these things, because this is completion energy. And that's why we're seeing this assessment, this reflection upon past energy. This idea that now that she has this understanding, she can in fact achieve this spiritual fulfillment. In this Muse Tarot, these Cups cards are the cards of the emotions. And so I just think this is another thing that we're seeing her experiencing with this card, is just a lot of emotion. And it might be confusing emotions too, because she's ultimately very happy. We're not seeing 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups and being like, yeah, you're not happy. Like, no, she's got a sense of her happiness and her fulfillment. But what's happening is she's like experiencing it and then kind of almost being like astonished by it, and then feeling like overwhelmed. And there's crying and there's laughing and it's just like a lot. And if your head space is Page of Cups and Page of Wands, and your heart space is the 10 of Cups in reverse, like you've got there's a lot of emotions pouring out of you, and it's overwhelming. The niggling thing in your heart space, the fear you have, is your Queen of Pentacles in reverse. You have a little bit of a fear that this might destabilize you because you're very, very happy, and you feel so much love, and you want to experience this union and see this material fulfillment, and you're just having just a little bit of fear that you might not be able to sustain, to keep this foundation stable. But the other aspect here is you're releasing any of the shadow traits associated with this queen, which can be like overprotective, overbearing, overpowering. This has been something that has come to your attention either through shadow work or through your interactions with the divine masculine energy. But in some way, you've discovered an aspect of yourself that you want to release. You think that there is this aspect that you block your own spiritual fulfillment because of your need to kind of control the outcome, just like divine masculine. And so you're wanting, just like you're wanting to release any ineffective Knight of Wands energy, you're also wanting to release any of the shadow traits of the Queen of Pentacles, because you do not want to have any destabilization right now. You want to stay strong and solid. The Devil is being clarified by the 7 of Pentacles, or 7 of materials. So this is an energy of nurturing, taking care of, patience, allowing something to unfold, allowing something to just come to be. So I'm really seeing that the devil energy that was really bothering you the most, that has been blocking you from receiving and from being able to see this abundance come from your 8 of Pentacles energy, and for you to fully shine, has been your impatience with your own Knight of Wands energy. It's been your impatience with the fact that this timeline was pushed out for so long because you were protecting yourself. That is why it was taking all of this time to develop. But you're releasing this impatience with how long this process takes, because you don't feel impatient anymore, and you're just kind of lovingly caring and nurturing for yourself, for this connection that you have with divine masculine, for the 8 of Pentacles, which is right below it, to be able to develop into this real craft and see this material abundance. So you're releasing impatience and just allowing this process to happen. This 2 of Swords energy, this standstill, this is what's clarifying what has been this self-protective energy. So there's been some kind of a resistance to making a choice for a time to walk away from the things that don't serve you. Oh no, this is not the 2, it's the 7. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. So this is 7. So this is revealing hidden energy. So, and the 7 of Pentacles right before it too. Damn. Okay. So the impatience, the devil energy, releasing the devil energy, and which had to do with the impatience of the timeline, and also with your impatience about divine masculine's decision, which is where the decision part is coming from, to keep these things hidden from you, to keep whatever it is, whatever secrets he has, whatever strategy he has, whatever surprises he has in store, whatever's going on, cleverness, foxy energy that's in this card. You were protecting yourself from, well, that's why things were hidden, because you were protecting yourself from actually seeing what was. I think you're afraid of what divine masculine is going to tell you. And you were protecting yourself from that, all the while thinking like, divine masculine is keeping me hidden, he's not revealing me. But really, you weren't revealing yourself. Like, your Queen of Wands is in reverse, and you were doing that to yourself. So seeing divine masculine's truth is also having to see your own truth, which is difficult. this is crazy. This 10 of Pentacles, it's clarified by the 10 of Wands. So we've got the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Wands, and the 10 of Pentacles. And the 10 of Wands is about putting down your burden, unburdening yourself. You've been holding up all of these really heavy burdens and trying to carry them and trying to achieve this completion of this material fulfillment. And you feel that it's time to unburden. You feel that whatever is hidden is going to be revealed, and you feel this time or this communication that you know is imminent. You're also feeling in your heart space that this must happen. There must be this unburdening in order for you to really see this material fulfillment. And we have a 5 of Swords energy blocking this 8 of Pentacles. So there's a bit of defeat that you have been feeling in regards to the work that you've been doing. So this could be material world work, often associated with 8 of Pentacles, but it can also be about work that you've been doing on yourself. So I get a sense here that you do feel a little bit defeated, like you're like, I've done all of this stuff. I'm doing all of these things and I'm still fighting like against myself and against what it is that I desire. And you really just want to put down this burden and not have to be fighting anymore for what it is that you want. You just want to allow it. You want to stop fighting and just allow what it is that you want to happen. And then we're getting the Fool in reverse, which is clarifying the Queen of Wands in reverse. So you're feeling foolish about some of your reactivity. You might have said things or done things. I mean, this could be recently, but it could just be in general, because we were taking stock in the headspace of like the whole headspace. So this could be just a general feeling, but there's definitely a sense that you've been foolish, that you resisted this new beginning, that you resisted being who you are, following your dreams and passions. And you're just feeling a bit of regret about it. You're like, I was really foolish to fight against the things that I want, the dreams that I want. You're realizing how you just blocked your own fulfillment. And this Page of Wands energy is clarified by this 4 of Cups. And the 4 of Cups in the Muse Tarot shows the 3 cups in front of the individual here. And then you realize that they are actually contained within the 4th cup. So they can't see it because they're already in it. And that's what Divine Feminine feels a little bit foolish about. She is like, the whole time I was asking for my 4th cup, I was already in it. I was asking for Divine Masculine to, give me more than this energy. And he already was. I was just not aware of it because I was focused on these 3 cups that seemed so much more important to me. They were dreams, fantasies, memories, ideas that I had about what this should look like. And, what I'm realizing, what I'm feeling that I've been foolish about is that I already was in the cup that I was seeking. All right, let's look at Divine Masculine and see where he is at today. Okay. Divine Masculine, top of the deck, overall headspace for you, the Emperor. So you're feeling a little something today. You feel powerful, you feel in command, you feel in control. In this card, there is shadow, there's light, just like every card. And the shadow is rigidity, controlling behaviors, being inflexible. But the light of the card is abundance, having like a really secure foundation from which to rule from, the ability to rule many kingdoms, So you have a lot of moving pieces in place, and you're able to kind of keep all of these things balanced and flowing, and you can keep everybody happy and kind of do everything you need to do without compromising or sacrificing any of your desires, because the emperor doesn't have to, right? The other kings, they have to make compromises the emperor doesn't have to make. So this is a really powerful energy for him to be in. And I think he's also feeling a little bit stubborn and relentless. This is the Aries energy, that face. Just sort of like, no one's gonna fuck with me. Like no one is gonna take this from me. I refuse for this to be taken from me, kind of a thing happening. And he's holding the sphere also in his hand, like kind of holding his world in his hand. The niggling thing in the back of his mind, kind of underlying all of his thoughts, is actually the 5 of Swords again that we just saw over here for Divine Feminine. And this is this feeling, it's a feeling of defeat. But if we put this in juxtaposition against the Emperor, I get a sense that he's not feeling defeated. So I don't think that this is his own personal defeat. I think that this is actually that he's been fighting to maintain this energy. And I think that he's defeated his opponents, which is why he's feeling like this right now. He's like, I won, I guess. But it's that feeling. It's like, I won, I guess. This is what winning looks like. Not what I had in mind. But I'm the Emperor, nonetheless. The first thing on his mind, 4 of Pentacles. This card's been in his headspace the last couple of days. It's one of the rare times that I've been associating this Divine Feminine energy with an iteration that may be not the one, not the twin or the Divine Feminine aspect of self, but a karmic partner, a family member, a belief system, something that is clutching or grasping his material, Divine Masculine's material, wealth and abundance, his desires, and also clinging to him, somebody that has been clinging to him. So I'm seeing that Divine Masculine is feeling like he has defeated something or defeated someone, and then but that defeat is like a bittersweet feeling. It's sort of like, great, like I win, but like, okay. So the first thing on his mind, I think, is this feminine energy that has lost what it is that was being held onto or grasped. I think it's also his own energy of himself having to let go an attachment to some of his material wealth in order to appease this energy. And it is also for him understanding that process that both have been going through, that they've had to release their attachment to the material outcome of the situation. I also think Divine Masculine is thinking about how his Divine Feminine energy is not clingy like this anymore, is not attached to him in a codependent way, doesn't cling to him, lets him be himself. The next thing on his mind is the 7 of Wands. So again, standing his ground against opposing forces. So he's thinking again about this third party energy that he had to fight against, that he had to stand his ground against. And what he's realizing is, so he defeated his opponent, right, in quotations, because there's this feeling of being like, I win, I guess. Shrug. By winning, he compromises. He has to let go of some material wealth, some possession of some kind. Could it be a house or like a, just some division of property, kind of a thing like that, or just some attachment so it was a loss. It was a true compromise. Nobody feels entirely satisfied, right? So it's like that kind of situation. But he's feeling that even though he won against this energy, it's something that he knows consciously he's going to have to remain in this defensive position against this. So it's not a sense that like he's just going to keep having to pay this. I mean, he might have to actually keep paying this person or keep paying them off or whatever. But it's not a sense that's going to get worse. It's just a sense that like now he's in this place where he does have to kind of stand his ground against this opposing force. He's not looking forward to it so much. And it has compromised some of his wealth. These 8 of Pentacles, he's in union, a lot of union with Divine Feminine today, with her in this 8 of Pentacles energy. So standing his ground and fighting off this clinging, attached energy, it's like he's feeling like he doesn't kind of get to experience the fulfillment of this craft that he's working on, this 8 of Pentacles. Like he's going to have to stand his ground in order to protect his career, to protect the rest of the abundance that's coming to him. It's like something that he feels like he's going to have to be on guard against in the future. And then we have this High Priestess card in the same position as yesterday in reverse, just like yesterday. So there's still this sense here that Divine Masculine is questioning his own intuition, not quite certain yet if he can trust his intuition in regards to this energy. I think there's a part of him that is like, bro, you don't have to worry about it. It's okay. This is not going to be a problem for you again. But his mind is like, I don't know. This has always been a problem. And this is a far-reaching problem. This is a problem that has a lot of power or control or something. And I'm staying on guard because I don't know if I can fully trust that this energy isn't going to be an issue for me again. So he's working on trying to trust. He's also working on trying to trust his Divine Feminine energy because of the way that this past energy acted, he has those wounds that have made him feel like he's not entirely sure he can trust anyone, right? Even this Divine Feminine who he adores. And we don't see her in his headspace much. Right now, we see her in that he's feeling like she's not clinging to, she's not too attached to him, like she's not too dependent upon him. But I think we're also seeing him feel a little bit like, I don't trust that she really needs me. And that's giving him a little bit of anxiety. The 7 of Wands is clarified by another 7. And then now we have all the 7s. We have the 7 of Wands, the 7 of Pentacles, Cups, and Swords. So we got all the 7s from the deck today. And the 7 of Cups for Divine Masculine really is about that mask for the most part. So we see that as he unmasks himself, because the individual in this image, it looks like he's either taking the mask off or bringing it up to his face. There's this energy in the 7 of Cups of confusion and a lot of options and a lot of opportunity. It's a really complex card because it can be very light, but it can also have a lot of shadow in it without it being in a reversal. It's just a complex state to be in. To have a lot of opportunities that were created from all of these cups that you filled up with your, things you imagined. But then look, there's this beast here too. So there's fears, worries, anxieties that are also embodied in these cups. And I see this standing your ground, and then I see this dragon here and this mask coming off. So Divine Masculine is thinking that even though his intuition is telling him to let go of his attachment to external validation, don't worry about what people think, he still has some fear about unmasking because he feels like he's going to have to fight off criticism, judgments, maybe more serious kind of issues once he unmasks. But this King of Swords energy in reverse, it's also blocking his ability to really share himself completely. It's like he loses himself in his work. He goes into the shadow traits of the King of Swords, which is to be icy and cold and aloof, and not in his integrity. And he's realizing that his career, his protection of that career, keep trying to maintain this status, like that Four of Pentacles, trying to maintain status and be able to move up in his field and all this. This is what really brings out the shadow in him the most. And this is what really causes him to hide the most. So he's really thinking about that. And while he's feeling powerful as an emperor, he's understanding that those shadow traits of the emperor come from this anxiety he has about having to fight off judgments and criticism, what people are going to say and think about him. Top of the deck, overall heart space for divine masculine is the Magician. So he's feeling extremely powerful. We saw the Magician yesterday. But now we have the Emperor and the Magician together. So he's extraordinarily powerful. He's magic. He can manifest anything he desires. He has all the tools that he needs to be able to bring in what it is that he's longing for. And we have another union card with divine feminine, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse for the masculine, upright for feminine. The reversal for divine masculine is because of his impatience. He's feeling now excited and ready to fulfill his dreams. That's that Emperor and Magician together. It's like, okay, it's time. So he's like impatient to get started. He is I think he's ready to see this return on his investment as well. So I see this as it's a time to come out of this stage where he's been painstakingly nurturing this thing and really come into alignment with what he desires. This first card in his headspace, the Four of Pentacles, is being clarified by the High Priestess, and it was already clarified by the High Priestess. So the clarification of that High Priestess in his headspace was his mind was having a hard time trusting his heart. His heart is telling him to trust that this is not going to be a problem for him. The external validation that he's sought for so long, not going to be a problem. The third party karmic energy, not going to be an issue. He's getting an intuition that he's going to be okay in regards to this energy, but his head is having a hard time trusting that. He's also feeling that energy from his divine feminine, her power to match his magician power, right? We have the Magician card, and then we have the High Priestess card too. So we have this culmination energy, this balancing of the masculine and feminine energy. And then we're matching divine feminine entirely with this true love feeling, Page of Cups energy. And this Page of Cups, which is that heartfelt, sincere, this is what is clarifying the Seven of Wands. So this is what he's kind of having to stand his ground against in terms of himself. He fears he's going to have to fight off judgment and criticism about appearing like this page. Love, sick puppy dog energy. He's also in the beginner mind for his heart space. He feels like he's going to look just foolish and immature and etc. And so he's fighting off his own machinations that would protect him from being able to experience this fully. He's trying to trust in his heart space. That divine feminine wants this page energy. His career, his work, his craft, this is being clarified by the Lovers. So his heart is telling him to trust in this true love and to put this before this material fulfillment. That he is able to have this union, this physical union, whether he feels fully confident that he's achieved some kind of pinnacle in his career or in his ability to achieve abundance or something like this. His heart is prioritizing the Lovers, and he's finally doing that. That's why he's not so concerned anymore about that Eight of Pentacles. He's like, it's hard for him to trust, but he's really trying to trust his heart that if he chooses this Lover's energy, it's going to actually result in a lot more abundance for him in his career than he has now. This is what he's not trusting. He's not trusting in his offer, right? There's that offer that I talk about that always looks like an offer of marriage to me, just that hand, being held out, offering a hand in marriage type of a deal. But this pentacle it's the Ace of Pentacles is sometimes got a lot of green energy in it, right? Because it's nourishing, it's plentiful. It's a seed that you plant that becomes the Seven of Pentacles that you nurture into the Eight of Pentacles that becomes the 9 when you can reward yourself, and then finally the 10, which is the material fulfillment. It's the seed of that, and it's a really significant offer. And Divine Masculine is just having trouble trusting entirely that this offer is good enough for Divine Feminine. The Seven of Cups, there's the Sun. And the Sun, that Divine Masculine energy, it's about happiness, of course. It's so auspicious to get it in your reading, but in this case, it's about illumination as well. So something being fully illuminated. So this mask coming off and being able to be who you really are, no longer at the mercy of your, fears and fantasies, but actually have the good stuff that you put in those cups finally pouring into your life. And so he's ready to bring light to all of these opportunities that he can bring with him into this union. And this King of Swords energy in reverse, this is being clarified by the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So we see his heart space feeling that for as long as oh, Jesus, this is the Knight of Swords. I did that before in another reading. It's the Knight of Swords. So the reversal on the Knight of Swords, it still has the same elements of someone in their integrity, because the Knight of Swords comes in their integrity. They come swiftly. They bring truth. They bring directness. If the Knight of Swords is in your headspace and it's in reverse, it can be a resistance to seeing the truth of something. But I think what it is that his career is what caused him to have to be in what we would feel as the King of Swords energy, aloof, icy, not in his integrity, not revealing truth about what is happening. This is what has put him into that place where he could not come swiftly to Divine Feminine. So we're seeing that Knight of Swords when it's clarified by the Six of Pentacles. The truth that he has to see is that he must fully reciprocate to this Divine Feminine energy. He must give as much as she is giving and open himself to receive also, so that they can finally have this reciprocity. The inability for him to be able to reveal this truth to her, this has what has brought about this lack of reciprocity between them. All right, and it's 44 minutes. Okay, let's look at the Divine Feminine oracles. Couldn't think of what I was going to do next. Probably should have eaten breakfast before I started this reading. I'm feeling a bit loopy. All right, there's a billion cards today, so let's dig in. Divine Feminine, you are in the light attributes of companion energy, which is loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. And I feel this coming from you. First of all, you're ready to be in this companion energy. in the 3D. This is no longer just a 5D energy. I really do feel the fulfillment of this card. The other aspect is that the loyalty thing, which is something that you kind of had in your headspace in the last couple of weeks, just trying to really understand being loyal to this energy or this iteration of this energy that is engaging in behaviors that for you look like this. And you questioning, do I remain loyal to this energy or do I try to find new energy? And you've remained tenacious and you've remained loyal, and you've just decided to be unselfish and just to give divine masculine the time and space he needed and just to trust. And this has allowed you to enter into this companion energy. Your guardian angel is here to support you in this child energy, which you obviously are with this page of cups and the page of wands energy. You are very much in this beginner's mind, which we know from the reading yesterday, I think is where we talked about the, you must be like these little children to enter into the kingdom of heaven. So your inner child work has really paid off. You've been able to establish these feelings of like excitement, anticipation, and that new energy that comes from being a child and imagining something, but you've separated yourself from the wounds that child had, healing them. Your guardian angel is here again to help you hold your vision. This was here yesterday, so it's just really important for you to keep holding this vision that you've had of this manifestation. You know you're going to receive it. Wow. Okay. Wow. And then we got 4 from these spell casting oracles, and we've got trust, clarity, happiness, and justice. Okay? We literally, this is a lot of major arcana type of energy. For sure, you trust divine masculine. You trusting this energy, and implicitly, this is what's putting you in this companion energy, keeping you loyal because you trust in him. You have clarity about what is happening, what has happened, what you do in your own headspace, how you block yourself from the desires that you have that you want to experience. You're feeling a lot of happiness. That sun card in divine masculine's heart space, this is here for you now too. Trusting in divine masculine, having clarity about what's really going on instead of just like feeding it with these fantasies, and being aware that you're already in this cup. This is bringing you a lot of happiness. And finally, you're feeling this justice, this balance between the two aspects of self. And it comes from holding this vision. When I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. So just keep doing this. When you think you've, I've done this work, I've done everything. There's just do it more. You can't possibly surrender enough. Just keep going. You are good enough. This is Virgo energy. You are good enough. I get a sense here that you have to take some time to just get a page of your journal and set a timer. And I want you to write all of the things that you do accomplish, from the most minute and mundane to the most complex. I just want you to put a timer, 15 minutes, put some chill music on, smoke a joint, and write everything that you do on a daily basis, a weekly, monthly, annual basis, for yourself, for your job, for others, for the environment, anything. Write every single thing you do. And then I want you, every time you feel, I'm not good enough, go read it. Because guaranteed, if you're in Virgo energy, there's a part of you, there's a perfectionist aspect of you that is just, that no matter what you've accomplished at the end of the day, before you go to bed, you think, I didn't fucking do that. And then you go to sleep in that headspace instead of, wow, you know, today I did this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And somebody asked me last night, I was showing them trap music I like because I'm trying to decide on this one section of a song whether I should do like this cool Radiohead beat, which I can make the sounds sound like the drums, but alas, I am not a drummer by any means, much less Phil Selway, so forget it. But I'm like, I was dreaming of this thing. Like I had this vision and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then I like worked on it and I kept going back and forth to the song to get the sounds right. But because I couldn't really play the drums, it's not a drum set, it's a keyboard. Like, and it doesn't sound good. I was like, okay, I think I have to just do like electronic type of drums because even though this is a cool idea, I don't think I have the means to implement it at the moment. So, well, what other thing could I do? And I alighted on trap drums because that's what I work with a lot on an artist that I teach and co-produce. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do trap drums. So I was showing my friend all of these new trap songs that I hear from my student who's 16 and like he's like, I'm gonna make this, and he shows me and I'll be like, damn, okay, this is cool, whatever. So she was like, how do you have time to like find new music? And I was like, what do you mean? Thinking to myself, I'm the laziest person in the world. I have so many hours, countless hours of time. And then she goes, well, she knows my schedule very intimately because we talk like twice. We're almost like roommates at this point because she lives home all by herself in a studio in Manhattan, and I live all by myself. And so we talk a couple times a day. And so she knows my schedule more or less. And she listed it. She was like, you do this, then you do that, then you do this, then you do this, then you do that, then you do this, then you do that, and then you do this. So, how in that, where do you find new music in there? And I was listing the different ways. But then I thought about what she had said and I was like, that is a lot. Like, how do I like? And I was really, oh, I only sleep like 4 or 5 hours. That's part of it. But like everything else, yeah, I do a lot of things. But I focus all the time on how I procrastinate and whatever, you know. Oh, thank you very much, Wallflower. I appreciate you. So give yourself credit for what you do. Get out of that Virgo energy. There's so many positive aspects of Virgo energy, but that one, the worthiness aspect for not doing enough, that's a real big shadow. So work through that and really acknowledge everything you do. Take time to breathe out. That's another thing that kind of goes hand in hand with this energy of you are good enough. If you feel like you're not good enough, then you're not probably taking time to do self-care, etc. So take that time to breathe out. Allow yourself the space, first of all, to be good enough, and then to reward yourself with the ability to just be. The other aspect of this disseminating moon card is to breathe out negativity, breathe out this old story. Remember, we're trying not to tell these stories anymore. So your head is thinking a lot about this old story. Both of y'all are doing that a lot, I notice. You're like, man, I did that, and I did that, and I did that, and I did that, and I didn't do that, and I should have done that, and I'm... Stop. You've got Page of Cups, Page of Wands energy. Be new. Think of new things. Think of a new idea of yourself. Are you so limited that you can't imagine anymore? Go into that child energy. Breathe out all the old stories and start to breathe in new energy. I just saw a big fat raven fly by. All right, a new romantic cycle begins. New Page of Cups, Page of Wands, a bunch of times you know that that's true. You're in a new romance. Allow it to happen. Unbound is coming up again for you. It's in reverse. It's really emphasizing that you are not bound to those old patterns, right? Release soul patterns, contracts, past lives, and we're going to add to that past behaviors, past fixations about yourself, right? And you're finally getting mouse spirit, which is number 40. It's so cute. It says tend to small things. And we're getting the oracle message. The humble mouse pays attention to the smallest details, and mouse spirit calls on you to notice the nuances and the fine print at this time. In your eagerness to meet your goals and pursue your dreams, it is easy to forget the importance of clear communication and tending to the little things, including people's subtle signs that they are unhappy, as well as the small voice inside of you that says, "This doesn't feel right." Take your time to sniff out what you need to know. Is there some detail or nuance about how you engage others or operate in the world that is key to your success, but you've too readily dismissed as nothing big or nothing special? Mouse spirit reminds you that what seems small may be important and powerful, may be more important and powerful than you think. So look again. Do not underestimate yourself or your potential for co-creating something amazing when you pay attention to the details. So I'm really drawn to forgetting the importance of clear communication. Um, so that's a big thing. You also had clarity in your oracle messages as well. And then Page of Cups and Page of Wands. This is definitely like, these are little things, another interpretation of the Page of Wands is that you're experiencing these small gestures, or you're engaging in small gestures for to and for yourself, type of a thing. And you might be thinking about these things as nothing big or nothing special, but they really are more powerful than you think. Look again, right? You're seeing these little things and you're not thinking about this like big aspect that these little things actually entail. All right, Divine Masculine, let's look at your oracle messages. You're in the shadow attributes of the networker. This is that card with all the letters on it. And it's conveying information only for personal gain and spreading fear or falsehood, which I'm not really feeling so much. There might be some aspects of conveying information only for personal gain. So you're like sending messages, but only the ones you're perfectly comfortable with. You're not really going outside of your comfort zone right now. You want to move into the light, which is to enhance unity through the sharing of information and engenders social awareness and empathy. So you really want to share this information that you have. You have some information. I think this is not just about divine feminine. This is about that other energy that makes you feel a bit defeated, or that you feel you've have to compromise with or stand your ground against. Sharing this information will engender social sympathy and awareness. And there's something important about you revealing yourself entirely. Your heart is convinced that you will feel this happiness once you unmask and bring this, like, illuminate this energy. So sharing yourself, revealing what is hidden, and not worrying about your personal gain, but understanding that your experience and what has happened to you is going to expand others. When we do on Sundays, which I have to double check for you, I'm not sure yet about this Sunday, but normally I do a live reading with Grace Strega at noon on Sundays. And we do questions at the end where we take live questions during the reading, and we'll pull cards for you and answer any personal questions you might have. And I always try to remember to thank the people who ask personal questions, because it takes a lot to reveal yourself in such a way and be vulnerable. But when you do that, there are definitely others in the collective, since it's a shared collective, who absolutely benefit from the responses that Grace Strega and I bring from spirit. That moment of vulnerability that you had, where you risked looking silly, or worrying, oh, people are going to think like I'm pathetic, or my, maybe the person you're asking about, like, what if they see it? And like, you take a risk to convey information to others. And it's of benefit to them. And so divine masculine has to be in that same space where he's understanding that his inability to convey this information that he has, that he feels he must keep to himself, or he's been told he must not reveal, these revelations will actually, not only will it enhance the unity between divine masculine and divine feminine, of course it's going to, but it's going to engender this sympathy, this empathy for his predicament and for others in the same type of a predicament, and it will bring about change. Saint Hildegard von Bingen is here to help you believe, and Christ is here with the miracle. So you, oh my God, that was weird. I thought it was the same card. So you are very distracted right now. Sorry. You have, not only do you have Christ here with the miracle, but you have Saint Hildegard von Bingen who wants to help you believe in this miracle. I don't know why that was difficult for me to convey, but right now it's important for you to really just believe that something miraculous is really taking place. You're getting truth, dreams, and passion. So the dreams was in reverse, and so was truth. And I feel that this is about revealing the truth, bringing the truth to light. There's a nun here and a mirror. So there's high priestess energy coming from this, that black and white, the balancing of the two aspects of self. There is the mirror, the reflected image, understanding that what you see in others is really the truth about yourself, and needing to reveal the truth about yourself and come out of this dream space. Come out of your dreams, wake up from your reverie, and finally reveal what's been hidden. Reveal these truths, these sacred, secret things that have been hidden. Show them. This passion card. This is like a full-on Queen of Wands, King of Wands energy. Revealing, illuminating. You have a deep passion for divine feminine. You must bring this from this dream space into the material and let this shine. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. That is absolutely true and a beautiful statement. How happy you are is how much faith you have in the universe. And you do have a lot of happiness. And right now you've got that ability to be able to trust in your intuition, maintain that faith, and remain happy because you know you're going to get what you desire. Your commitment is being tested. This is in reverse. And I think what this is saying is actually this period of time that was a test has passed, because now this personal issue has reached a resolution. And I think we do see that with that emperor energy. Whatever was going on to make you feel like you weren't an emperor, that's passed. The initiation, the rite of passage, crossing over, the day is nigh. You are now crossing over, coming out of that cave, crossing that threshold, coming into full expression. And we're getting koala spirit. Spirit has a plan, the protection message. Are you feeling uneasy and mistrustful of the world? Have you been hiding in a safe spot, afraid to venture out because you're convinced that life and other people will disappoint you? Koala spirit has appeared to let you know that your faith is misplaced. The present safety you seek is already passing away, because all things are temporary and outer conditions are always changing. Find your safety by placing your faith and trust in the Spirit, who will grow the abundance that is already yours. Perhaps you are acting slowly and overly cautiously, because you lack faith, and there is more for you out there than what you know. Because you lack faith that there is more for you out there than you know. You may have boxed yourself into a safe place that has nothing else to give you and become so familiar with it that you have forgotten to explore. Are you feeling pessimistic and convinced there is nothing more out there for you? Koala Spirit reminds you that self-care is meant to replenish you so that you can venture out again in faith, trusting that there is no limit to the joy Spirit wants you to experience. Be good to yourself and reconnect with Spirit to reclaim your faith in things yet unseen. I don't think I have to really go into that one. You're hiding. Come on out. Come on in. The water's fine. All right. Bottom of the deck for this couple, where you are in union. You are in the shadow attributes right now of the Advocate, which is you need to be compassionate. Put your compassion into action. So there's a little bit of a focus right now on personal gain in this relationship because you're right about to get physical. So makes sense. It's going to wear off eventually, but you do need to be in this advocacy, this state of advocacy for others. This compassion you feel now for each other, this empathy because you have an understanding, oh, this is just me, this person is me, and they're going through this experience and I understand it, and it's the same thing I'm going through, and I feel so much compassion for them, and I want to love them and mash our body parts together. Okay, cool. Well, you have to bring that same level of empathy and compassion to every single interaction with every single being that comes into your life. It's not just for the divine counterpart that you plan on spending sexy times with. It is for everyone in your life to receive this compassion. So now that you know it, don't make it about personal gain. Don't make it about, because as soon as you do that, you're going to lose the essence of what it is that you're trying to create together. St. Francis of Assisi, my husky doggo card, is here. This is the energy of animals. This is loyalty again. So we have a lot of things about loyalty coming up, companionship. You are about to be loyal companions to one another. There is a certain amount of exclusivity here, I feel, that's coming, where you have just complete loyalty and devotion to each other. St. Francis of Assisi is also the saint of unconditional love. There was no being too small or unworthy of this love, this outpouring that comes from the divine. Forgiveness. You are in a state of forgiveness for each other, for yourselves. You feel this outpouring of compassion and advocacy for each other. And that's why you have to take that energy and make sure that that is something that you're bringing to every interaction, not to just this one between the two of you. Continue to work on forgiveness with others in your life, in particular the ones that have been you view as opposing parties or blockages. They have been your greatest catalysts for change and expansion and growth. I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. So this is call for you to create this magic between the two of you as much as you can throughout your entire day. Keep finding ways of reminding each other that you love each other and that it is a miracle that you have one another. Expect powerful change. We're here now in this moment. Your guidance is divinely guided. So this is an emphasis that right now the guidance you're receiving when you're seeking, when you're asking and receiving guidance, or when you're giving it, it is truly divine. You can trust in it. You can trust your intuition. You can trust in your heart space. And then we're getting Skunk Spirit again, know your worth. And this is a card about the two of you really understanding that not everyone is going to love your scent, right? Like not everyone is going to be down for it. But it doesn't matter. You know your worth. You know what the two of you can do, are capable of, what you can do with this manifestation, if this isn't a relationship that you're trying to manifest, but a career or some kind of thing that's going to make you feel good. Whatever it is, you know your worth. And it doesn't matter what others think about it. It doesn't matter how others receive it. Just own your own individuality and uniqueness. All right, let's close out the reading now with a final goddess card from my Goddess Knowledge cards deck. This is for the practice that we do of the goddess practice, where we put two hands over our heart. I don't know why I can't keep thoughts together today, but two hands over your heart at some time today for 15 minutes, repeating the mantra, my heart is the heart of the goddess, which is just helping us to give the same amount of reverence, respect, and honor for goddess energy as we already do for God energy. You can use any divine feminine energy you would like to visualize, including yourself looking all fabulous. The idea is just that you get this strong sense of femininity, the light traits, and the shadow, because we want to make sure we're looking at both parts. These cards do that really well. That's one reason I use them, so that you can maybe meet new goddesses you've never met before and work with them, and just have a sense of how many different cultures have honored this feminine energy throughout time. Themis is one of the oldest and most revered of the Greek goddesses. The daughter of Gaia, the earth goddess, Themis is the mother of the three fates, who determine the destiny of all mortals and gods. Shown here as the giver of dreams, she once was consulted at Delphi as the bestower of oracles. Themis is it Themis or Themis? I don't know. Themis probably. I have no idea. Is prophecy incarnate. Her oracles derive from her sense of order and connection to nature. In later Greek mythology, transferred to Mount Olympus, she personified the social order of law and custom, a reminder that social order is ultimately dependent on the natural order of the earth. She is a grounded earthy goddess who is also comfortable moving through the shifting, mantic world of dreams. She is deep wisdom, familiar with both the depths of earth and the heights of sky, a guide into soul. So, more dream energy. I like that word, mantic. Didn't know that one before. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. This has been a fun reading. I think it looks about right. We've got beginner's mind for both. We've got working on trusting the intuition, faith, releasing any kind of shadows to do with trying to control the situation, which we know just comes from trying to protect ourselves from what it is that we desire, or the loss of something. Know your worth. Spirit has a plan. Tend to the small things. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I shall see you tomorrow morning on Tuned In Tarot. Please like, subscribe, share, do all the things. Follow me on Instagram. You can see when I'm going live. I post a time-lapse shuffle with the songs that played, which today, I don't remember. There was a Shaky Graves song and a TV on the radio song called Hours, but you can check out both of those songs for further messages on my Instagram page. I don't know if there's anything coming up outside of the fact that I'm just working on my records, so you can follow me on Pearl and the Prayers as well to stay up to date with the fun musical things I'm doing. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I shall see you tomorrow. Have a lovely, lovely day today. Take care.